What's up, beautiful people? Oh my goodness, it feels so good. I put on just a little green and some color on my lips. I haven't been dressed in God knows how long. It makes me really appreciate the value of makeup again and just feeling cute. What's going on, y'all? Jaimi Alexander here. Thank you for tuning into my channel for the day. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things. I wanted to come to you with a quick message. I had three things that I think are very important and very powerful for us to be paying attention to and practicing, especially in times like this. Obviously, we're going through a pandemic. This is my little I guess all of us that are producing content during this time, this is our little diary for these times, right? People years from now are going to be like, remember what happened in 2020? Yeah. So let's jump into these three things. So, one thing that I felt is really important and something that I'm learning is to trust who I am. I definitely believe in God, and what it says in the Bible and what we learn in church and stuff is that God knew you before he formed you in his mother's womb. Again, even if you're just an idea or wherever you believe you came from, I'm not here to sway people's beliefs. However, with that thought, for me, I was able to deduce and say, okay, if God knew me before I got here, who does he say I am? Because he obviously had an idea of and a plan. Because I don't know if you guys notice, but sometimes as things are happening, you don't always notice as they're happening, but when you look in retrospect, everything and the dots start to connect. Well, how can we get in alignment with those dots? So even when we can't see how they connect until they're in retrospect, we can still be putting the intention and purpose forward to connect dots. I like to call it an aligned action step, one aligned action step at a time. So I know that we have been very used to getting information about who we are from someone else. We think other people have the answers. And don't get me wrong, it's important to have a mentor. It's important to read, learn, grow, and gain and glean wisdom from others. But it's just as important to know who you are. You were put here for a specific time. Do we have the courage to explore the depths of our truth and then show up in all of that, regardless of what it looks like? These times that we have right now are such an opportunity to do that because the celebrities got to stay home and so do you. You're not home because you don't have the money or the planes or the opportunities. You're home. They got to be home. We're all home. Not to say we're on the same page. I know there's some people who have bigger homes and nannies and helps, but that's not the comparison I'm trying to make. The thing is this is kind of a great equalizer right now. So now more than ever, being a human, we should be able to see the oneness in all of us. There is no this person better than that person who has this and that. We all have a responsibility to show up right now in the fullness of who we are. And if you don't know who that is, I'm not going to claim I know. I'm always, searching and digging and learning. I have a show with my co-host, Haley J, called Super Soul Sit Down on AfterBuzz TV. And we just talked about the conversation that Oprah and Alicia Keys had. And Alicia Keys just wrote a new book about her journey. And she's still looking for the depth of the truth of who she is and using that courage to speak out and flow in that. So if somebody like Alicia Keys, a 15-time Grammy winning author, actor, singer, blah, 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 no, she doesn't have it all figured out. We don't need to feel bad about it either. We are in a space where we have an opportunity to think about what that is. You can be a guru all day, but nobody knows me like I know me. And so the first tip is trust who you are. Find out who you are as much as possible. Make it your mission and keep that journey going and trust that as you unfold little things and details of yourself. Ties in second to my second point, which is follow your inner leadings. Trust your gut. This is something we hear all the time. Trust your gut. I'm not giving you brand new wisdom that you've never heard before, but we need to hear that often. Now that we've slowed down a little bit, are you guys able to hear your inner voice a little bit more? I know I am. And little things like call your grandma, tip them $10. I know you only think you got 5, but give them 10. Go here. Answer that phone call, because sometimes I don't answer phone calls. If the number's not stored in my phone, I don't answer the call. I feel like I'm getting just little things, nothing crazy, but I find that those little things that I think are nothing big or nothing crazy completely tie into something that comes up the next day or even later in the day. So what I'm saying is follow those inner leadings, follow your gut. Right now, we're not really in a rush to go anywhere. Even if you are still working, I work for an essential business. I still have to go to work. Obviously, the traffic is slowing down, so I'm still getting to slow down in a certain way, but following these inner leadings is giving me an opportunity to see how powerful my mind really is. I'm looking to take my power back in this season. All this chaos going on, I'm not interested. I'm interested in being in the eye of the storm because my instincts kick in and know that I cannot flail about around me. I don't have that energy. That's not what I'm feeling. I know that's not going to help. And I also feel a personal responsibility to raise the vibration at all times. That's just my own personal value in things. I don't think the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I'm not God, but I can take ownership of my own energy, and you can too. Just think if from a collective standpoint, we all opened our hearts a little more and became a little more compassionate and empathetic because we can slow down now. We've got more time to pray for people. Even if you say a quick prayer in the spirit, or just all of these things, we have a little bit more time now. So without getting too far off track, follow those inner leadings, whatever they might be. They're small. Like yesterday, call my grandma. And usually I would say, no, it was 5 here. It's 8 there. No, she's probably asleep. Did I talk myself out of it? Let me call her in the morning, remember. So I called her. We had a wonderful conversation. 2 hours later, my sister called me and she felt so bummed because she forgot to call grandma. And I was like, don't worry, I called her. She has a thing where she calls grandma on Sundays. I have no such thing. I call when I call. And so just the fact that we got to bond over the conversation I had with my grandma, it made her feel better because we were able to find some synchronicities in the conversation I had with grandma. I felt like a little conduit. Don't feel bad. You didn't call grandma. I did. Now we could talk about that. So you still got your connection for the day. Very small thing, but very valuable in the grand scheme of things, right? So number 1, trust who you are. Okay. Be courageous about that ish. Okay. God knew who you were before he put you here in this time to do what? That should always be a question on our minds. 2, follow your inner leadings. Just those little whispers that come up. Just do it. Just follow it and see where it gets you. I've been having the intention to be a little more generous because it is challenging. I'm still getting Uber rides and having to order stuff and whatever. And I know these people don't want to be out. A lot of people are out because they have to be. They got to make their money. And that's crazy. This is kind of the space that we're living in, but I'm just more mindful of that. But in the thought of following my inner leadings, I'm also courageous about who I know I am, which is a master manifester. I know I can make something out of nothing. And I'm also flowing in abundance. So now while everybody's trying to hold on to their money and I'm being more gracious with mine. Because that's what my inner leading is telling me to tip them $10. Whatever the case may be. And I've noticed that I'm receiving more from that. That even though the intention wasn't let me put out more so I can get more, it was let me follow my gut and be generous. And that was it. And it's coming back to me in ways I didn't even intend to set motion to, but I did. And so we have opportunities here to really tap into that thing we don't usually tap into because we're grocery shopping, we're going to work, we're coming back, we're squeezing in the gym, we're anxious about traffic, we're picking up the kids, we're trying to do the homework, we're calling the boyfriend, trying to get the FaceTime, cooking dinner. We got a little bit of time now, y'all. Let's use it wisely. Don't feel pressure to learn a new language, start a new project. The stuff I'm telling you, if you did that and nothing else, you're winning, especially if it's something you weren't doing before. I'm doing it. I'm winning. Following my inner leadings. I have seasons where I fall off of it, but now I'm kind of no, it's important right now to strengthen the muscle that can hear me. I trust me. And I'm going to need that in a future moment. And I don't know why, but we're going to need those. We're going to need to trust our inner leadings, because there's going to be a time period coming up real soon here where we're going to have to act like this. And it cannot be foreign to be like, why am I feeling that in my spirit? And where did I hear that? You move. So let's train ourselves to move, because there's going to be high value in that for these next steps. We're in the unknown right now, guys. This isn't the olden days where you can plan months in ahead in advance and we just got it all lined up. We're moving in the unknown. So if we're moving in one aligned action step at a time and we're feeling our way through the dark, you better have some instinct where your foot's going to step next, right? And we have it. Okay? We know. Trust yourself. Follow your inner instincts. And the last thing, my last tip for you guys, is to visualize. I've been having so much fun with visualization. And again, it's something we hear a million times, especially if you're into like The Secret or the Law of Attraction or universe, God did it. We're always hearing about, visualizing. But this is an opportunity to really do that. I've already seen a couple of things that I visualized come into fruition, and it is a trip because it's shown up almost to a T. And I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, all right, I can't be too skeptical, because when you have people like Joe Dispenza and all these, really big guys who have done the science and the study, who have seen people go from blind to being able to see, doing these practices, who am I to say it doesn't work? But, sometimes you want to talk yourself out of things. But I've been visualizing. Not only am I having fun with it, the way it feels and getting excited about where I'm headed, but I'm seeing some stuff come into fruition, and it's freaking me out a little bit in a good way. So because I've seen such loud results from visualizing, I can confidently tell you to get your visualize on. Even first thing in the morning, even if you want to do it before you get out of bed, I suggest getting up just a little bit first, just because, not to check your phone and things, but just get up, get your body moving, because I don't want you to fall back asleep. But after you've got up and maybe brush your teeth, sit back down and visualize where you want to be, who you want to be, blah, 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 and just get into it. I've healed relationships. I've received money. I'm changing my own vibe up in here with this time. And it's very interesting, but I'm seeing it unfold. And I think it's so important to do this at this time, because our collective energy is important. We have the power to co-liberate ourselves. This is about co-liberation, right? So any information I can share with you that has me feeling more free, hopefully I can create a ripple effect with whoever watches this, because the more free and open and harmonious we all feel within ourselves, and empathetic and compassionate, and we carry that vibe into the rooms, into our videos, into our home, into our kids' lives, our spouses, whatever it may be, it's going to shift this thing. It's not a vaccine. It's not a nurse. I get the traditional things, but don't think that your attitude and your inner powers have nothing to do with how this thing plays out. So let's visualize how bomb life is going to be after this passes through. Let's visualize hopping on planes again. Let's visualize how we've been able to sharpen our inner skills and our mindset. Let's visualize how things have changed so much that we now have opportunities everywhere. Like, visualize opportunities everywhere. Don't visualize all the businesses that might be closing. Don't look at how small the stimulus is. What you gonna do with that money? Where could you sow a seed? What does your inner leadings tell you to do with that money? What are your inner leadings telling you? Are you telling yourself to cling to every dollar because you don't know what's gonna happen? Or are you being generous when you hear, give that man a buck, just give the homeless guy, check your energy, see where you're at, see what you can do about tapping into the truth about who you are and not the reality, what you see. If we can get used to doing this as a collective, we will be so much more peaceful, patient, and harmonious. And I think that will be part of what clears up. That's why I'm saying I feel this is part of my responsibility as well. It would feel irresponsible of me to panic and freak out and start sharing every wild story about the coronavirus that I find. Again, it doesn't mean be ignorant, but at the same time, I will not feed into the chaos. I am the eye of the storm for my own sake and for any of those who are catching the radiation around me, whatever I'm radiating, like, get this good energy. This is what we've got to be about. And it's not about, being corny or not feeling how I'm feeling or being real, but in each moment, just do the best you can. That's all you can do. So trust who you are, follow your inner leadings, and visualize where you want to be. Where do you see us all collectively as well? Hopefully it looks good, as good to you as it does to me. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just wanted to leave a little message. Stay Rona free. Do what you got to do. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.